Welcome back to the Fab Forums. On this episode, make some progress on this thing. Install the K-member, install my custom steering column, replace a bad body panel, and get this thing ready to clear coat. So this car had a bad panel on the back here, and I had a donor car outside that I felt like it would be easy just to cut that piece out and replace it, and so that's what I did. All right, so I got the old piece cut out, and this is a donor piece that I stole off the GT that I used to have out back, and I've got it fit pretty good. And what I usually do is I like to kind of find places to cut it that are inconspicuous. Now obviously, you know, through here, that's the least inconspicuous place, but I had to get all of the crappy material out. But like back here, I cut it back in this. Got like a little flange on this piece here, so I can kind of tack weld it all together when I grind it. I'm not messing with this bend on the edge. Same thing in here. I can kind of weld it in there, grind it, and you'll never know. I mean, it's kind of in the door pocket. You know, this is not the most perfect space anyway. So now I'm just going to, I think it's fit pretty good. I might have to like kind of clean it up just a little bit, but got a couple magnets. I'm gonna kind of magnet it in place, and then I'll slowly start tacking it together. The key to this is minimize heat and warpage. The good thing about this piece, I can get back here, use the hammer and dolly, kind of clean it up a little bit if I need to. But having access to the back is a plus for sure. Welcome back to the Fab Lab. Today, we're trying to make some progress on this bad boy. One of the things I want to do very first is finish the column. So I made this custom column, lightweight column in the last episode. Basically just steering wheel, quick disconnect, some chromoly tube, reinforce the weld to the actual quick disconnect piece with this little piece of tubing that slides over it. And then we got a piece of aluminum with two bearings, bearing on top, bearing on the bottom, and then some collars to basically hold it in place. So that's compared to the factory. Obviously, I'm gonna move this thing down, I think, a little bit. What I need to do now is make some brackets that weld onto here that mimic what the factory setup is. So I've designed some of these up in CAD, and I think they're correct. We're gonna put them on the plasma table, cut them out, and see if they fit. All right, let's see what we got. So that one's a little bit loose. Looks pretty good to me. Let's go tack it on, then we'll fit it in the car. All right, so I'm gonna start off just by, oh sheesh. All right, so the plan is to just get a couple tacks on this thing. I'll make sure that it's, put it in the car, make sure it's what I want, and then I'm gonna weld it up. So, got that dialed in, I think. What I did is I wanted these brackets to be as low as it possibly could. That way there's as much support up here next to the steering wheel as possible. And then what I'm gonna do is where it goes through the firewall, I'll probably put another bearing piece mechanism through there. So to have support here, support there, kind of keep that thing from potentially wobbling or flexing. It's super hot right now. I'm gonna let it cool down, get some parts together, and we'll get it mounted in the car. Is it gonna fit? I think the holes need to be bigger. That's what we're looking like. I dig it. Just needs to be fully welded now. It's only got about 6 or 8 inches of stick out here. I'll probably coat this with something to keep it from rusting. I kind of like the bare metal look, or may paint it. I'm not sure yet. Everything fit well. It's nice and sturdy. The brake caliper on the engine bay side bolts to this pedal cluster, so it's got a little bit of wiggle now. But once that's in, this thing should be nice and firm. And then if you look under the hood, you can see the stick out. This mark here is the factory stick out. I'm gonna wait to cut it though, just to make sure everything's right. And then the factory setup has a rubber bushing here, or a rubber boot that goes there. For fire hazard reasons, that's not the best scenario, so I'll probably make a plate that goes in there with a bearing that's got like a spherical outside, so you can it'll kind of rotate off axis, and then I'll mount to that plate, and it should help stiffen this up down here as well. All right, so I got the K member in. Just got that thing bolted in. Gonna wait on suspension because I want to clear this thing very soon, and I don't want to clear any of the suspension components, which is also why I've been kind of taking this thing apart. So I've got the louvers that were here, I got them taken off. There was like it's not a drip rail, but like some kind of piece of molding that went there. Had a bunch of glue on it, took that off, cleaned it up best I could with some acetone. What else did I take off? Oh, it's all the windshield trim. So there's trim that goes, kind of snaps in all this. Took all that off, front and back. So I think I'm gonna clean the windows now and get those things taped up. If you've never used this glass cleaner before, this stuff's the bomb. Sprayway, world's best glass cleaner. You can get this stuff at Home Depot. I think I bought a 5-pack or 4-pack for $5. Works super well. Anyway, I hope it works super well because this glass is nasty. I think it's gonna take a razor blade on those. Got all of the trim pieces off, quarter louvers off, rear glass trim, The wiper that goes here. Got everything off that I wanted off on the outside. Got it taped up. Gonna start doing a little airbrushing on this thing. Kind of cover up some of this exposed metal. Maybe break out some more exposed metal. And then we're gonna get this thing cleared. Trying to kind of figure out what steps I need to do. I want to put a cage in this thing and got to get the windows tinted. So I'm trying to figure out what I do first. The windows need to be tinted before the cage goes in. It'll just be a lot easier to tint the windows. I'll have to cover up the tint to make sure I don't scratch it and whatnot, but I'm gonna put all new window run tracks in there. Window run tracks? Yeah. So I'll paint it, maybe get it tinted, then come back, put all the trim and stuff on it, cover up the tint, start on the cage. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. So as you can see, here's all the trim pieces that came off. A lot of these were chrome on the early cars. I'm gonna paint it all black, get rid of all this chrome look to it. It's got the pieces that go above the tops of the doors, kind of like a drip rail. I've ordered new grill. One of the things you can't order on these though are these louvers. And this particular louver, trying to get it out, the plastic basically broke on it. On the top and the bottom. So I think I'm gonna try to fix it, and while I'm in there I'm gonna reinforce these. These are actually in good shape. Just gonna sand them a little bit and paint them. Gonna try this stuff right here. Plastic bonder, high strength structural adhesive. So we'll see if this works. It doesn't have to hold a whole lot, but I do kind of want to try to fix it. They don't make repops of these, and trying to find them online, they're crazy expensive. Everything is reinforced. I actually used that whole tube. There may be a couple spots. I'm gonna maybe buy another tube. Maybe a couple spots that I kind of touch up just a little bit, but hopefully they'll last another 40 years. Now I just gotta get them cleaned up, start working on painting them. I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna do all the trim at the same time. So I think I'm gonna get back on the car and start playing with that, maybe break out the airbrush a little bit. Had to move some things around. Got a new project in the shop. Just a little customer work. But anyway, that's not what we're working on. We're on this thing. Moved it back in its hole. And right now what I want to do is I want to build a filler panel that goes in here and covers up all the AC holes. I don't want to permanently delete them. I want to hang on to them. We're gonna make a nice filler panel around this. Get it etched with like a custom logo, and that'll take care of that section of the firewall.
5 should be.
So is that like a focal length?
Yeah, yeah, that's your focal lens.
Instant. Interesting.
Instant. Yes. But then this allows you to change your Z-axis and get a larger part. But you know,
you lose some or
you
something?
lose your power. You know, so you have to. We may have to play with what is this like? What thickness is this aluminum?
Probably like 050.
Is this aluminum or
050?
Let's go past count 1 just to see what she looks like. This is not going to be an interesting one because it's super slow on something like this.
You got your description.
So you do multiple passes on it?
Yeah, we'll do a bunch of passes on it.
Top. And we can log YouTube. We can log the account, the top tier account in on
if
your
this were
YouTube,
solid,
and you can switch between yours and that one.
Oh, because it's got those little tiny.
Yeah, because see, it's gonna miss and it's gonna leave the painted because that's like the distressed.
Yeah.
Distressed sticker.
Have yours on there.
This probably will come out really nice.
Cool. So the car's coming together, it's looking pretty good. If you notice, I painted the moldings. So these used to be black moldings, I've painted them white. Gonna get rid of all that black stuff. Mainly because I don't want to put moldings on the side. And it would look funny if you painted like black fake moldings. I just felt like an easy way to do it would be just to paint the black ones white. I actually like the look better, it's a little cleaner. Next episode, I'm probably gonna start doing a little airbrushing, kind of play around with distressing this thing, get the body finalized, and hopefully we can get this thing clear coated. As always, thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Go do work, son.